You go away on vacation and come home to this.
Water was coming down from the ceiling. Drywall had fallen onto the floor.
And all because of something so small, you probably never even think about it.
The cause of all of this water damage was from what amounts to as a $3 water hose.
How can you tell if this might happen in your home? Lee Thompson with a Dateline Consumer Alert.
We all own high-tech appliances these days we don't understand. But after our next story, you're going down to the basement or the laundry room or wherever your washing machine is, and you're going to check on the lowest low-tech item you own. And many of you will save yourselves a lot of aggravation and money. You may be surprised that something so simple has the potential for causing so much grief. Here's Chief Consumer Correspondent Lee Thompson with a Dateline Consumer Alert.
We're in Hawaii.
For 3 weeks, we were having a wonderful vacation in the Hawaiian Islands.
Ron DeFore scuba diving in Hawaii. His kids, Brittany and John, playing with the dolphins. His wife, Lori, taking in the sights. Little did they know, water of another sort was taking a destructive course through their Northern Virginia home.
When we arrived at home, we were ready to hit the bed because we were quite tired from the trip. We pulled into the driveway, and the first thing that we all noticed was that one of our garage doors was open.
DeFore says it is impossible for anyone to imagine what he found next.
I immediately opened up the door and found what looked like a Vietnam monsoon war zone. Water was coming down from the ceiling. Drywall had fallen onto the floor.
DeFore frantically searched the house looking for the flood source. Nothing seemed obvious, but a steady stream of water kept coming. The hot water and humidity had already rusted out the furnace. The carpets and much of the furniture destroyed. The electronics, disaster. Some had just gone haywire, which explained how the automatic garage door had opened. The damage, an astounding $170,000 and rising. And it all happened while the DeFores were away playing in the Hawaiian surf.
Oh, boy, does she like those whiskers!
To know that during that period when we were enjoying water, it was water that was destroying our home.
But what caused it?
Well, I was stunned to find that the cause of all of this water damage was from what amounts to as a $3 water hose to the washing machine.
That's right, and it was just this little hole in this short length of rubber hose which connected his washing machine to his home's water supply. DeFore did what most people do before going on vacation. He checked the windows, turned down the heat, and set the alarm. But shutting off the washing machine? According to the Association of Home Appliance Manufacturers, most makers of washing machines recommend it.
It turns out washing machine hoses break all the time. State Farm, the nation's largest home insurer, poured through all of its recent water damage claims and was surprised to learn in just 1 year there had been 13,500 claims for broken water hoses. The average payout, $3,500 a pop.
It is a big problem.
Terry Spalding is the manager of research for State Farm Insurance. She says repair bills for broken hoses are growing.
In the old days, you would find them in the basement with a cement floor, and when those hoses would burst, you wouldn't have a lot of damage. Well, that's not the case today. When a hose bursts, it's very often in a living area, and the damages can just be astronomical.
And a lot of homes today are like DeFore's, where the washing machine is conveniently located on the second floor.
Something like 3 gallons a minute comes out of that hose. 3 gallons a minute. Doesn't take very long for the room to flood.
That's more than 4,000 gallons of water spilling into your home a day. Enough water to fill about 78 bathtubs. Spalding demonstrated what that might look like by attaching a broken hose to an open valve. And she warns, you don't need to be washing your clothes for a hose to break.
I think people are sometimes lulled into thinking that if they turn their washing machine off, they're okay. Well, they're not.
Washing machine hoses are under constant water pressure. The only way to relieve it is to turn off the water valves. But even if you do that, you still need to check your hoses and replace them every few years.
There's not an unbreakable hose. Eventually it will break, and the key here is to replace the washing machine hose before it breaks.
So how do you replace old hoses?
You want to make sure that you've turned the spigots off.
Replace one hose at a time.
And after you've taken it off, it's a good thing to go ahead and put the hose inside the washing machine, because there will be water in here.
And she says make sure you put washers in the new hoses.
You want to make sure that you thread it properly, because if you don't thread it properly, you can get leaks here.
It's just like attaching a garden hose.
You'll want to go ahead and test your machine and make sure it's working properly.
And that's all there is to it. It's a lot easier than cleaning up a mess like this.
We have been stressed to the max with this.
DeFore's insurance company covered the damage to his home, but of course nothing could compensate the family for the frustration and inconvenience the flood caused.
People ask me now, are you going to turn those off when you leave the house? I can tell you, if I'm going to be gone for more than a day, I'm not only turning those off, I'm going to turn off the main water valve to the house.
The insurance industry estimates broken water hoses cause $150 million in damage every year. State Farm says you should check your washing machine hoses at least every 2 years. And even if they look fine, replace them every 4 to 5 years.
Still ahead.